Live.
Hi guys and welcome to the United Stand. I'm Anna and we've got Mark, Alex, Martin and Kev tonight. We've hit 10k subscribers, so thank you all so much for your continued support of the show. So it's a really big show tonight. If you're lucky, Kev might even sing you another Schweinsteiger song at the end. Can't promise anything, it's up to him. He has got a new camera though, so for all of you who are hating on his video quality, that should improve. As always, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel and do get involved with the live comments box. We're going to get straight into it tonight. There's been a lot of negativity around Louis van Gaal and his team selections and style of play from a section of United fans at the moment. Where do you sit on these accusations, Mark?
Well, I wasn't on Thursday, and I think the lads got a bit of. I've just blinded myself on the light. Actually, I've got lights in front of me. There was a bit of negativity on Thursday. We always say on this channel, if you're new watching, one of the new 10,000 subscribers we've got, welcome to the channel. But we do say how it is on here, and we are honest. But I'm going to be honest and say, last season under Louis van Gaal, I was worried at Christmas. I said if he didn't get top four, I think he needed to go because he should have got it with the players that he had. This season, 2 wins. No goals conceded, 6 points. You cannot really complain about that. So I'm really happy about that. Yes, there's problems with penetration, but I think we're going to talk about Rooney later. If you look at our defence this season and our midfield, especially when he made those changes in the second half, there's a lot to be excited about. We've got a goalkeeper who probably won't be our goalkeeper, and Rooney's woefully out of form. So we are struggling with penetration. We always have. It's like, you'd see, there's been about as much penetration as there is on a nun's wedding night. But I am positive. I'm not negative. And I'll leave that to Alex when it comes to the negativity about Louis van Gaal.
Another classic one-liner from Mark. Alex, do you think fans are being too harsh on Van Gaal at the moment?
I don't know. I think it's just so split at the moment. Like, you have people. I just put a tweet out like a few minutes ago about it that you have people giving their opinion, and then you have other people just complaining about being too negative and everything. I think you should be allowed to question things that he does. He does make some absolutely ridiculous decisions, like last season, where some of these people being like, "Oh, Van Gaal knows best," when we had Phil Jones taking our corners, or when we had RVP in centre mid with Fellaini up front. We can't really complain. Like, obviously, the performances haven't been that great, and I've disagreed as well as a number of others about some stuff like Mata being played out of position and Herrera not playing. But at the end of the day, we've got 6 points out of a total 6, so we can't really complain while we're winning, even if it is quite boring to watch.
To be fair, given Blackburn's abysmal start to the season, I'd quite happily have Phil Jones taking our corners, but there you go. Where do you think this negativity is coming from, Kev? And do you think, are fans right to be questioning his tactics? As Alex says, is it just expressing an opinion? Do you think sometimes it does get misconstrued as, questioning the manager too much?
The negativity is going to come from supporters who have followed United pretty much through the Sir Alex Ferguson era. And we have been spoilt. We know we have. We've been used to this attacking style of football, playing with wingers. And Sir Alex Ferguson's gone now. And under David Moyes, we never got it back. Louis van Gaal's, he's just a different kettle of fish. He's coming in. He's a different manager. He's got different ideas. We know what he's all about. We've had a season under him. When people will judge him, and it's on the money spent, and that's where people now are saying, well, you brought all these players in. Where's the creativity? Where's it coming from? Where's these goals? But I'm pretty much with Mark and Alex there. We're 2 games into the season. Yeah, we've not set it alight, which we wouldn't really want to be at this moment in time. We played 2 games. We've not conceded a goal. Fair enough. I think we've had 3 shots on target, but we've got 6 points from 2 games, and it's a far cry from last season when we lost the opening game to Swansea at Old Trafford. We've got 6 points in the bag. Chelsea have drawn a game and they've lost one. That's the marker. They're the champions. Yeah, Man City look good, but the negativity, will come from where Louis van Gaal has spent his money, and I fully expect things to happen. I think it will click in. It's only a matter of time, and that's as a supporter, that's what I think. I think it's only a matter of time. And yeah, 6 points from 2 games at the start of the season, and a snap to your hand off. I'm quite happy with that at the minute. I just hope that the free-flowing football, and let's not forget he has brought a lot of players in You've got to give them time to gel, and I think that'll all come with time. But hopefully, it's all about momentum. I said if we hit the ground running, I'd be happy with that. I think we've done that. Yeah, the football and performances will come with that in time.
Sorry, I've just seen a great comment on the live comments box from Halftime Devils, who says that Alex looks like a broomstick. It was a penguin last week and a broomstick tonight. Martin, as Kev says, you have got 6 points in the bag. You're only 2 games into the season. Do you think it is a bit early for all this negativity?
Very early. I think it's, people can be concerned about things, but like the other 3 lads say, we're 2 games in. We've got 6 points out of 6. Hopefully, we'll have 9 out of 9 next weekend or after the national break. I just think that what we're looking at is the style of football, and we're wanting to be excited, but we can't have it both ways. We want to be winning games. We are winning games. There's a few issues that are going on there, but we don't want to peak too soon. What I will say is United are slow starters. They always have been, even under Fergie. So to be starting slow and have 6 points, I'm not going to complain.
Alex, you got the 3 points against Villa on Friday. Januzaj was the goal scorer. What are your thoughts on the performance and your thoughts on being called a broomstick, if you don't mind?
Well, I said before he's named himself after another certain YouTube channel, so he's a bit of a fanboy, so he should go watch that one if he has a problem with it. But in terms of performance, it wasn't really that great. But I thought one thing that did stand out is as soon as we brought Schweinsteiger and Herrera on, we just seemed to look like such a better team, which I know with Schweinsteiger's case that he's not 100% match fit yet, which I think he will start on Tuesday. Well, I'm hoping he does anyway. But with Herrera, he says that it's because he likes to play another striker rather than another midfielder, so that's why Herrera isn't playing at the moment. But if we're not creating anything, there's pointless having 2 strikers because it's like we're not doing anything with them. So I'd much prefer to have Herrera, and then I think we would manage to get more shots off, because I think the main problem is that we're just not getting any shots on target. We've had 3 shots on target in 2 games, which is just absolutely pathetic when you think about it. But we should have really scored as well with Memphis's chance, but a lot of people were getting on his back. Like, no 21-year-old comes brand new to a league and just hits the ground running. So they just should lay off Memphis a bit, because he is going to take time to adapt, and he's not going to come in and just be absolutely amazing in these first 2 games.
That's a good point, actually. Obviously, a player comes into a new league, they can't adapt straight away. It does take time. Mark, what were your thoughts on the performance? And do you think fans are being a little bit too harsh on Memphis at the moment?
I do think Memphis will come good. I thought he was going to score that chance where Mata put him through. Fantastic performance from Mata. As I said, the defence played really well. I think we've got the best fullbacks in the league at the moment. I think the midfield was a bit suspect, and we let Villa back into the game, but Villa were a bit toothless. I was really surprised they didn't play that tall lad against Blind, but Blind had a good game. When it comes to Memphis, though, I mean, we will touch on the Champions League in a moment, I know, but I think he needs to play on Tuesday night, because I think that's the perfect opportunity. He just needs to get his confidence up. He looked a lot better out on the left wing, and it's interesting that it's just so difficult. And I know we're going to touch on Rooney, but I'm champing at the bit. Rooney was just coming deep all the time, and we were just so toothless. And somebody said it on the comments box there. If you put Aguero in Man United's team at the moment, I mean, we've already got 6 points anyway. I think Man United would win the league. I think people are underestimating how good our defence is, and the midfield has got so much potential. I don't think we've found the groove yet with the midfield. The problem is now, we let Robin van Persie go. I totally disagreed with that in the summer, and I think in the last 2 games, in the last 20 minutes, Rooney needed to come off. He was that bad. But you can't put Chicharito on, because there's no ball in the box. There's no crosses coming in. He can't control the ball. He may as well use my garden wall out there. And he's rubbish at holding the ball up. So we've got nobody else other than Rooney. Rooney was dropping too deep again because he wants to get involved. He's the problem for me at the moment. But we're going to touch on him in a minute, and I wouldn't drop him.
Yeah, we are going to come on to Rooney shortly, but first let's talk a bit about Schweinsteiger. He came on and won United the game, took control back of the midfield, killed off Villa's attempt at a fight back. On the pitch there didn't look to be many other leaders, but he put in a leader's performance. Should he be given the
it's one that's going to divide opinion. Personally, for me, I probably would give him the captaincy because I think Rooney needs to concentrate on scoring goals and not worry about what the rest of the team are doing. I think the captaincy sort of, stumps Rooney, and he just hasn't really shown what a captain he should be. I mean, you look at that team, and Rooney's sort of the most experienced players in that squad, and he should be leading. And it was the fact that Schweinsteiger had to be brought on to sort of usher up that whole game and sort of see that 1-0 victory out. So I think it's a hard one because I don't want to sort of say, oh, Rooney's an awful player, he shouldn't be the captain. But what I am saying is that Schweinsteiger is a natural leader, a World Cup Germany national winning leader. So for him to be given the armband, I think it would do Rooney better. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sort of thinking that if Rooney doesn't have the captaincy, he doesn't have that responsibility on his shoulders, and therefore he can go out and express himself and score the goals that we're all hoping that he can do. So yeah, I would give him the captaincy.
How pivotal was Schweinsteiger in seeing off the wing, Kev? Have you got any songs for us tonight, by the way?
No singing tonight. There was a bit of a social media backlash last week, so I'm going to stay off it. The guitar over here as well, staying on its stand. I'll just let you know that now. Schweinsteiger was pivotal in that game because at that time, I didn't think Villa caused us many problems up front. I know people will say that Smalling and Blind, they did play well at the back, and as a back four, Shaw and Darmian again has just slipped in excellently. But what was I going to say? Schweinsteiger, sorry. To bring him on at that stage of the game, you could see we were losing a grip in midfield, and to have a player like that comes on, it was the same in the Spurs game in the first game. Although he didn't look as sharp, he looked sharper in the Villa game, and he just makes football look so easy. He just plays it how it should be. His little 1-2s, he just plays a simple pass. And the first game when he come on against Tottenham, we're talking about a captain and the captaincy. I said it in the first show after that. He was pointing, he's telling everyone where to pass the ball. And for me, that's a leader, somebody who shouts and talks people through a game. Just like Roy Keane for me, Schweinsteiger is in exactly the same league. And to have a player like that who can come on and see a game out at Villa Park, I just thought he did it really well, and I'd love to see him in the lineup on Tuesday. And from the comments that Schweinsteiger's saying himself, he's not actually fully fit yet. I mean, I just can't wait to when he gets to anything near 100%, because he's just a fantastic addition to the squad.
There was a really interesting point by Martin that, perhaps if Rooney was stripped of the captaincy, he actually might improve his own game. So with that in mind, do you think it is time for a new captain, Alex?
At this point, I don't even think that would improve him anymore. I don't think he's had a really good season since the season before we signed RBP, and it's like taking the armband off him isn't going to help him be able to control the 5-yard pass that he then hits with his first touch 10 yards away from him. People last season were always going on about Falcao's first touch, which it was really bad, but Rooney's this season has been just as bad. And he does, to be fair to him, usually need quite a few games to get into the swing of things, but I don't know, I just haven't seen any even small signs of improvement so far this season. But I've reached the point when I was watching that Villa game where I was just I've never thought I'd say it, but I'm just bring him off and just start Hernandez the next game. He was just playing that poorly, and maybe Hernandez will make some of the runs that Rooney refuses to make, because people are saying it in the comment section. And it is true, he just keeps on dropping so deep every single time. It's like he's a striker, he should be further forward. But there was a lot of times in the game where the likes of Memphis, Januzaj and Mata were way further forward than him, because he's always dropping deep to try to get the ball.
Mark, you've always said that you wanted Schweinsteiger at the club. You've got him now, and his performances can't really be faulted as of yet. How pleased are you with him?
It's funny, I was only thinking that the other day, actually, how I'd sort of not forgotten, but on Friday night he came on and it was just a joy to watch, and I always said it would be a dream if we got him, and we should be really grateful to have him because it's sensational. Villa were taking control of that midfield. I was really, really getting angry in the second half because I thought we went 1-0 up comfortably. Then we did this silly thing of sitting back, playing possession game, and inviting the opposition on, which we did all last season away from home. And then I tell you what, Louis van Gaal made 2 fantastic substitutions early, which he didn't used to do last season. About 60-minute mark, brought in Schweinsteiger on and Herrera. Both of them just took hold of the midfield, and that was it, game over, and we could kill the game 1-0, which I don't agree with. I'd much rather we went and killed the game 2-0, which in fairness we would have done if Memphis had been there. But Schweinsteiger is just, as Kev says, and as Martin was saying there, you know, he's a World Cup winning captain. I know they didn't win it when he was the captain, but he was a big part of that team. Rooney is, as Alex has said on the comments box, was given that captaincy because there was nobody else, and that's the same for England as well. I mean, Lynn Hall says there on the comments, I'm just going to whiz through, Swiney for captain is more suited than Rooney, provided he can stay fit. John Iarty says, Alex and Mark, what does captaincy have to do with Rooney being unable to control the ball and misplace simple passes? Well, exactly. Rooney shouldn't be involved in the captaincy, he should be focusing on his game. And Matthew Day says, deserved captain of England though, Alex, just look at his record. Well, you know, I think there's a problem with Rooney, which we'll come on to in a moment, but talking about Schweinsteiger, for me, 100% should be the captain. He's not suited to Rooney. Smalling maybe has a shout because he's playing like a leader, but Schweinsteiger, this is the whole thing, what you're saying there, Anna. I was so happy when he came, and I know Kev was the same as well, because he's world class, and he showed that against Villa. He's not even fit yet, but he comes on, and just it wouldn't be interesting to watch if you're not a United fan, and even United fans moaned on the after show thing we did on Friday night. But from somebody who understands football, he killed the game because Villa were trying to come back into it. Their crowd was rocking. Schweinsteiger came on and he just killed the game. He just took hold of it and killed the game. And we are not playing with a forward at the moment. We're playing with 10 men, and he killed that game with Herrera. So he's a breath of fresh air, and I would give him the captaincy. But if we don't give him the captaincy, as I said at the weekend, the real captain is Schweinsteiger. He was walking off the pitch with an arm around Memphis. He was obviously disappointed about that miss. And Rooney is just so self-absorbed and so frustrated with his own form, he can't do that to Memphis, but Schweinsteiger can, and he's walking around and he's doing this to the crowd. He is the captain at the moment, whether or not he gets the captaincy.
And of course, this does lead us on to Rooney. After 2 less than average performances, he has been getting stick from the fans. What's the problem with him, Kev? Is it lack of form, or does he, as Alex suggests, simply not have the ability anymore?
I think it's obviously a lack of form at this moment in time. But I think it's the position that he's playing, and I did say before the Spurs game when we went in, without a proper natural striker, I did fear, because Louis van Gaal said that he was Rooney was his main man. He was basically putting all his eggs in one basket and saying, Rooney's my main man, he's going to be the striker. I know he's done it in previous seasons, and to be honest, when he said that time, I thought, if he can hit the heights that he's done in previous seasons, we know he can do it. He'll hit the ground running, but yeah, it's not going for him at the minute. And again, at Villa Park, the most frustrating thing is, yeah, the captain's armband is the captain of United. For me, I think it's a distraction for Rooney, because he seems to spend half his time chasing referees around, decisions. I do not see him as a natural leader, and I don't see him as somebody who, yeah, he's going to shout and, you know, come on lads, this, that. But like Mark touched on then, Schweinsteiger just does it in a total different way. Now, I don't think Louis van Gaal will make this change on the captaincy, because, I mean, what's that going to do to Rooney's confidence? If tomorrow on the next press conference he turns around and says, I've taken the armband off Rooney and given it to Schweinsteiger, who knows what that's going to do to Rooney? At this moment in time, if he's going to play Rooney as a striker, he needs to put all his confidence in him. But the frustrating thing, like I just said, at Villa Park Friday night, was Rooney instead of playing up front and staying up there, he was dropping back into midfield. And it's almost like when he's got that band round his arm, he feels like this warrior, this leader that has to drop back into midfield. And he doesn't have to do that. Now, we don't know whether the manager's telling him that, drop into midfield, but it's plain to see. You don't have to be a football expert. When you watch that match at Villa Park, you can see that when Rooney drops into that midfield, we've got nothing as an outlet up front. And we haven't really got much pace going forward at the minute. So to even counter-attack, if Rooney's playing in midfield, he's kind of a wasted player at the minute. I think he needs to know his role within the team. If he's playing up front, stay up front, keep Mattering behind him, because the two passes that Mata played at Villa Park on Friday night, I think one was to Memphis and the one in the first half as well, were absolutely sublime. And they were the reasons that Mata was Chelsea's Player of the Year 2 seasons in a row. You need him in behind a striker because he will supply the ammunition. And that's where Rooney now has to stay up front. He is the captain. Just captain the team in a different way. Like I say, you don't have to be chasing decisions. Just let your feet do the talking. He's experienced enough to know. And I'm sure, again, it'll come with game time and getting to know these new players.
I'll come to you, Martin. Do you think Rooney is just going through a blip, or do you think it's even having players like Schweinsteiger on the pitch now, which are leading to comparisons being made and making him look below par?
Yeah, possibly. I think when you look at Schweinsteiger, what he did in that game, Rooney probably is looking and feeling quite frustrated in his own sort of game at the minute. But I'm being brutally honest. I mean, Rooney's more than experienced. He shouldn't be starting a season slow if he's the captain of that team. He played all the pre-season. He hasn't been injured. I don't see any reason why he's so far off the pace at the minute. I mean, against Villa, he was misplacing passes. He was out of position. He looked slow as well. He just didn't look the player that we know. It was probably one of the worst games I've ever seen him play, and it was an absolute joke. The last sort of half an hour, he should have been pulled off the pitch, and maybe that'll either be good for him that Van Gaal kept him on, sort of giving him that confidence and saying just keep going, or it could go the other way that he should have been pulled off, just to sort of take him out of that match because there was nothing good that he was doing. I hope it is a blip because I back him. He's been one of my favourite players for quite a long time. When he was going to leave, I was gutted that he was wanting to leave. Happy that he stayed. Happy that he signed those contracts. But at the minute, like Kev says, he's taken up a place in that team because he doesn't know where he's supposed to be playing. If he's going to play up front, then like Kev says, stay up front, stop drifting into midfield and getting into other players' ways, because then the likes of Mata, the creative players, are looking for an out-and-out centre forward. There's no one there for them to find. And it probably is having an impact on the way that we attack teams, because Rooney's wanting to get too much involved. I always see Rooney as a number 10 as opposed to an out-and-out striker. I think people will disagree with me on that, but I think, apart from that one season where he was very, very prolific after Ronaldo left, where the team was built around him, but the team isn't built around him anymore. He's just the captain, and he's as Van Gaal says, he's undroppable. But I don't think he's the person that we build the team around. So I hope it's a blip. I hope that in the next couple of games he'll get a goal, get his confidence. Potentially the international break normally helps him. But I just don't see why he started the season so slow. He's got no excuses for me.
Mark, you did touch on Rooney earlier, but you did also say you were champing at the bit. So if you want to expand on the points you were making about Rooney.
Yeah, I think we've been a bit negative about Rooney, and I know people don't like the negativity. I'm not afraid about that. I'm in fact welcome it on the channel, and that's why we are the best. But I am actually going to say what I have been saying, and I'm not a hypocrite. I always said Fellaini was crap. I always said Di Maria was a bottler, and I did say at the start of the season that I backed Rooney to get 20 goals. Now I might get it wrong this time, but I'm not going to change. I'm going to stick by it because I do believe, as I said on the after-match review the other night, I can tell, and Martin is spot on, I totally agree with this, why he's not fit. I don't know, it's inexcusable when you're the captain of the club, but he's not fit, he's not match sharp, and you can tell it with Rooney like a sore thumb. When he's not fit, it's when his ball control goes, and his ball control is absolutely terrible. He's like a ghost. It's just going through him like, Casper the Friendly Ghost. That's a bad one. But yeah, and I don't understand why, but as soon as he gets his match sharpness back, he will score the goals. But he's got to play on the last man as well. He wants to get involved. He wants to drop off. I really do wish he'd take the captaincy off him. Not because I don't like Rooney as captain. I just don't think it does him any favours. I have to believe that he's still got it in him. I do understand where Alex is coming from, that he thinks he doesn't have it in him anymore. I mean, 3 or 4 years ago, he had that season up front, and he was absolutely amazing. He can do it. Whether he's got it or not is another point. But I'm backing him. I stick by him, and I think again, like Memphis on Tuesday, play him, give him the game, get him some sharpness. If he gets a couple of goals like Memphis, they'll fly. I totally agree with Martin though. Why he hasn't got that match fitness is a big question mark, and I think Van Gaal and Rooney have got to take a big look at themselves. But I'm certainly not being negative. I think he'll do it. I think he'll get match sharpness, and I think in a month's time we'll be saying what was all that about. But he probably should have had it from game one.
Why do you think Rooney's struggling to make an impact in the team at the moment, Alex? I mean, I've got him in my fantasy football team, and I genuinely am considering taking him out. So why do you think he's suffering at the moment?
Yeah, for some messed up reason, I have him in my fantasy football team as well. I'm giving him the captaincy because we're against Newcastle next week, but if he's useless again, I'm sacking him. I don't know why he's struggling to make a impact. It's like, if you look, we're in the if we are going to challenge for the league, you look at he didn't really play that well overall, but Giroud's goal that he scored today, he scored a brilliant goal. And then if you watch the City vs Chelsea game, Aguero compared to Rooney is like night and day, and just if he stays fit all season, we're going to have to play completely out of our skin to get anywhere close to City with the form Aguero's in. But I don't know what his problem is at the moment. It's just like his first touch, he just doesn't look like he has that same desire and fight that he used to. He never runs at players anymore like he used to when he was younger. And yet he just doesn't seem as quick as he used to be either. But so I don't know what that is. It's like, even if he was on the last man, I don't know if he's going to beat the players anyway in a sprint. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, and he also isn't really making the runs, if you see, so that could be another problem with us and not making so many chances, because he's not really making the runs. So I would maybe like to see us at least try, even if it's in like the second half of the game, to bring on, even though I'm not a huge fan of him, to bring on Hernandez over Rooney. But it will never happen, because giving Rooney the captaincy, Van Gaal's even said that it means that he's always the first name on the team sheet. So. But also the fact that we don't have another good striker to challenge Rooney means that he knows he doesn't have to try, because he's never going to get dropped either way.
Okay, we'll move on to a different topic for a bit. United played Club Brugge in the first leg of the Champions League qualifier at Old Trafford on Tuesday. What changes would you make, Martin?
I want to see Herrera and Schweinsteiger start, definitely, in the middle of the park. I think, as much as we've got the concerns around Rooney, I think he should start. He needs that match sharpness. He needs to get that back. Keep Memphis on the left. Potentially even keep Januzaj in there. I wouldn't change too much of the squad, but I would definitely, if Schweinsteiger is 100% fit, getting in the team with Herrera, because I want to see that combination more than I sort of want to see the Carrick and Schneiderlin at the minute. Don't get us wrong, I absolutely love Michael Carrick. I think everyone on this channel does, but what Schweinsteiger brings to that team is just irreplaceable at the minute. And I think in those games against Club Brugge, I know that they're a small club, but I would rather just have that experience just to get us over the line. And I think Herrera, again, is someone who's just constantly on the fringe, and he's more than capable of being the first name on the team sheet. So. Other than that, I think Marcus Rojo could probably come in as well, if Louis van Gaal's gives him the permission slip from his mum, we can get him on. So those are probably the only changes I'd make.
How do you expect United to line up, Kev?
The way you have to look at this game, it really is. It sounds well. It doesn't even sound awful, really. It's like a cup final. We could really put this game to bed on Tuesday night, and that could be our entrance into the Champions League. So I don't really see I don't think there's much possibility of much chopping and changing, really. He has to play, and this is where it comes in again. I don't think Louis van Gaal knows his strongest team, and his second season in, he's still making these changes. He's got Herrera sat on the bench, who come on at Villa Park and made a great impact. He gives us great penetration. He's always looking for the pass. I still don't think he knows his best 11. And the back four is kind of picking itself now. And again, it's in midfield. I'd love Schweinsteiger. If he's fit, you put him in there because he's a big game player. And yeah, you go with your strongest team. But again, I don't think he knows his strongest team. Go in with it. We've got to go attacking. We're at home, Old Trafford. It's the first. It's obviously 2 legs, and try and put this tie to bed on Tuesday night at Old Trafford. I don't know how it's going to go. If I was a betting man, I certainly wouldn't be feeling overly confident of scoring a few goals, only based on what I've seen. But we have to go attacking. We're at Old Trafford. We've got 70-odd thousand fans behind us. We've got to go for it. And like I say, if we can get a score of 2 or 3-0, our foot's in the door. We're more or less in the Champions League. The last thing we want to do is end up drawing this game and having to go and obviously play the return leg where it's still up in the air. Let's get the business done into the Champions League, and then we can really focus on the Premier League.
What expectations can fans have of United in the Champions League this season, Alex?
I don't know. I think we have to keep our expectations fairly realistic. I don't think anyone really should be expecting us that we're going to go win it, because if we come up against the likes of Barca, we are going to have some problems. But I don't know. I think we get out. Well, hopefully we have to get past this qualification thing first, but we should have absolutely no problem with that. And if we're struggling against teams like Club Brugge, we don't even deserve to be in the Champions League anyway. But I think we'll get out the group stage, and then once it gets to the knockout stages, anything can happen really, because you saw when Chelsea won the Champions League a few years back, they were by no means the best team in the competition. They weren't even probably in the top 3 best teams in the competition, yet they won. So when it comes down, you just need a bit of luck on your side. I don't think we will win it, but I think we could do all right, and I'm just looking forward to some big games in the Champions League. I really missed it last season.
United fans seem insistent that they need 3 more top signings. 2 games played, 2 wins, no goals conceded. Do you really need to bring in anyone else, Mark?
I just want to say, I don't think I've knocked the camera onto me there. I just want to say I've never been so excited about the Champions League since my mum bought me the Vicar of Dibley box set for Christmas. Fantastic. Can't wait for that music. But yeah, we've got to make signings. I mean, I put it out before and absolutely got a load of crap saying you're mad if you think we don't need signings. Yeah, we've got 6 points. Yeah, we've got clean sheets and we're doing well. But Romero's not been tested yet. I don't think he had any shots against him against Villa. So he teams will have chances and they'll score against him. He's an average goalkeeper, like Alex says. And Blind will get found out as well. He had a good game against Villa, and the bandwagon lot are there with Team Blind on the side saying, "Oh, what you've been saying about Blind?" He had a good game against Villa, but Smalling was the rock and the leader in the first 20 minutes. And Blind's we need better than that. So yeah, we do need to go and make signings. We need a forward because there's nobody other than Rooney, who I do agree will get good, but we need somebody else who can do it. And I've been saying for a while now, Lukaku, and I watched him yesterday lunchtime, and people might not like that sort of player, but as a backup for Rooney and another option, he'd be absolutely perfect. He plays on the last man, he's powerful, and he causes teams a problem. People don't seem to think we can do better than that. You can't just go and buy Benzema or Muller. These play for top teams, and they won't sell them. I mean, we might do it with a ridiculous sum, but I'd love Lukaku to come. And people say, well, why don't you want Benteke? Because he's crap. I really would have liked Lukaku. Pedro, I think, will happen this week, and that just gives us another option. And he's 2-footed and he's pacey. And we need a centre-back, and I'm sure we're going to come on to this in a moment. But the reality is, Otamendi's going to City. Ramos is probably going to sign a new contract. Who else is there for us to buy as a centre-back? Otamendi just reminds me of Fabregas. Ramos reminds me of Fabregas 2 years ago. You spend all summer on it and you get mugged off. Really thought Woodward would have learnt his lesson there, or the club would have learnt their lesson there. Doesn't look like we have at all. Otamendi, people are going mad about Otamendi, but we've always said we weren't interested. And I think if we were interested, we would have signed him. Because I think when it comes, City cannot throw money at it, but they're just a mercenary club. If Manchester United are known worldwide, and he would have come to us. So why we're not interested in that, I don't know. But we do need a centre-back because Johnny Evans' contract is up next summer. And if we don't get a centre-back, he'll get a new contract, which, I will be physically sick if that happens.
Martin, what are your thoughts on this? Do you, who would you be bringing in if you've got 3 players that need to be brought in? Who are they?
A centre forward. A centre forward who can score goals. I keep saying it, but who is that? Who is that player? As Mark says, the season's now started. All teams around us, teams in Europe, are going to be wanting to hold on to their players now that the season started. So unless a ridiculous amount of money is thrown at your sort of Benzema, Muller type of player, it's just not going to happen. I think the Pedro deal is going to happen, and then I honestly think that is it. I don't think we're going to go out and sign anybody else. I don't think we're going to sign a centre back. I think we were going after Ramos. I don't think we were ever really in for Otamendi. I mean, if he's going to City, good luck to him. But I can't see any other signings coming in. We definitely need a goalkeeper. Hugo Lloris has sort of come out and said he's happy at Spurs. So who are we going to sign? I think the bigger things are who are going to go out. I'm hoping Johnny Evans, takes that taxi that Kev's waiting outside his house constantly to try and take him somewhere. Any club who will come and sign and take him off our hands, I'm pretty sure we'll take a Kinder Egg for him. Other than that, I don't know who else we're going to bring in. I think we have to get used to this squad as it is, with the addition that Pedro comes in, I hope.
Yeah, Kinder Egg for Johnny Evans sounds like a fair deal. Otamendi is really heavily linked to Man City. It definitely does look like he'll be going there. Have United made a huge lack of judgment if you miss out on him, Alex?
It's so depressing because I did really want him and I really wanted Ramos, and there were even talks at one point saying that we were going to try to get both of them, and now it looks like we're going to end up with neither of them. It does seem weird to me because even though we had a bit of a slow start, I thought that City would keep Mangala, but apparently he's going on loan and he wasn't really that bad today. But yeah, so if he goes to City, it could be a big loss. People are worried that they're going to go for Pedro as well, but they're signing Kevin De Bruyne. I read today that that's pretty much official, someone said. So they're not going to go for Pedro and Kevin De Bruyne. But I think it could be a big loss to us because I think we do need a centre-back. Like Mark said, Blind did play well against Aston Villa, but against better teams, he'll be exposed. Like if you put Aguero on him or Diego Costa, they just absolutely ruin him. But I know like some people don't rate him, but I really rate Rojo, and I hope he'll be back in the team, and I hope Blind doesn't start over him because I think Rojo's a better centre-back than Blind. But Van Gaal has this thing, the whole match fitness thing, so he won't start. Like Martin said about him starting against Club Brugge, I don't think that'll happen because he hasn't even come on as a sub yet. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think he's even been on the bench yet. So I think maybe he'll come on as a sub for someone, but I reckon it'll be the same defence that we have been playing.
Yeah, would you say that it would be a big loss, Kev, if City managed to sign Otamendi?
I wouldn't say it'd be a huge loss. I mean, he's obviously somebody that we've been linked with in the press. But again, the manager's not come out and said he was after him. Now, if he signs for City and it comes out that United we're obviously in for him and he chooses City, then fair enough. Go and play football over in the blue quarter or whatever. But you just never know with Louis van Gaal who he's after. And again, I think a lot of people forget that Rojo's, he's yet to come back into this team. And at the minute, the way that Chris Smalling's playing, he picks himself because he's in there purely on merit. He's having a great season. I know we're only 2 games in, but all of a sudden the dynamics of that team change. If you even play Rojo in beside him, we've got that player there. So would you really want to go for Otamendi? We've been linked with obviously Stones as well, but he's going to be a work in progress. He's not the finished article. He's somebody we're going to have to wait a couple of seasons for. Yeah, he'll come in and do a job, but he's got no European experience. But yeah, I mean, if Otamendi goes to City, then he goes to City because he wants to. For me, I read into it. He obviously doesn't want to come to United. So if he doesn't want to come to United, there's either he doesn't want to go to him, or United aren't interested in him. So that's the way. Until you actually see that player stood, if he stood at the Etihad tomorrow with that scarf and the shirt and he signs, that's when it's done and dusted. Over the years, we've signed, in the last 4 or 5 years, we've signed Wesley Sneijder 147 times. Over the last 2 seasons, we've signed Arturo Vidal, I think, 78 times. You've got to look at it like that. Let's just see how it pans out. There's plenty of time yet, and obviously supporters are always quick to hit the panic button.
Yeah, Kev did just bring up John Stones, who is another potential centre-back option for United. Going for about 35 million, he's 21 years old. Is he the sort of player United need at the moment, Mark?
I just wanted to speak about Johnny Evans. Tyler Mitchell said that he'd take a Happy Meal toy for Johnny Evans at the moment. Maybe we can do a deal. Maybe we can do a deal for Evans for John Stones. So if he's 35 million, that works out at 34. Well, just take 1p off, I suppose. But John Stones, 21, isn't he, or 20 years of age? English, so he costs a lot of money. You know what? I don't think he is what we need. I think we need a leader at the back. We've lost Vidic and Ferdinand over a year ago now, and we haven't replaced them. And Smalling's becoming a bit of a leader, but if there's nobody else, I would take John Stones, but he doesn't really fit in for me as to what we need. He's another young player. What I would say is I think Phil Jones is finished. I think he's never ever going to get the 7 or 8 games in a row that Smalling's. We said about Smalling last season, he's always been injury prone. He actually has stayed fit all through the summer and the back end of last season, and he's doing what we said would happen as a centre back. He needed that continuity, and now he's doing really well. And God forbid he won't get injured. Phil Jones is always going to come back for a couple of games and get injured, and so he, maybe. Why did we give Phil Jones another contract in the summer? It just makes no sense at all. But no, for me, very quickly, John Stones. If there's nobody else and it means getting rid of Johnny Evans, then I'm not stupid. But I wanted a leader really. But then again, who is there? No is the answer. But if there's nobody else, yes.
I think we need to talk about the goalkeeper situation a bit more still. It's still ongoing. Alex, what do you see happening? What do you see developing in that over the next few weeks?
I personally, it seems to have all gone a bit quiet. I personally think that De Gea will stay, and I think we will get him for 1 more year. People say that that's a bad thing and that you don't want someone who doesn't want to play for us, which there is logic in that. But like I said on one of the previous shows, he might be bad for like a couple of months when his head still isn't in it. But then if he gets back to as good as he was last season, with the likes of Schneiderlin, we have now protecting the defence. I really don't think we're going to concede that many goals at all. If we do end up selling him, which is, I think it would be absolutely crazy to sell him either way right now because we have really little time to actually replace him. And I hope we get someone in like Hugo Lloris, and I really hope we don't get Silas in him because I just don't see him as United quality. And it really would worry me. And Romero has done well in goal in the last 2 games, but he will get found out eventually because he is a good player. I saw an interview today saying he's so happy that Van Gaal threw him a lifeline because he had 0 offers from any other clubs. So he was worried that he was going to be jobless. So should be kind of worrying for us that no one wanted him, and he was Monaco's second choice keeper like last season, whatever it was, and then he was, can't even remember where he came from anymore. Sampdoria's backup keeper as well, and then now he's been thrown in and being the #1 keeper at United, which I think it's mainly the fact he did make one good save against Spurs, but I think it's more the fact that with Schneiderlin protecting the defence, we're not conceding as many chances onto the defence as we were last season. Because I think if he was put in the situation with last season where we were making so many mistakes leading to shots on target, and De Gea just saved us every game, I think if we had Romero in goal then, we'd be in a lot of trouble. So I think we do definitely need a keeper if De Gea goes. But as I say, I still am holding out that he will stay for just 1 more season and leave for free next summer.
I'll go to you, Martin. If you don't mind, you can just talk a little bit about the centre-back situation and the goalkeeping situation, what you see happening with both of those positions.
I don't think we're going to sign a centre-back. I think we went for Ramos, didn't pay off. Tried to get him with the De Gea deal, didn't pay off. So I don't think we're going to sign a centre-back. I think John Stones will be a Chelsea player come deadline day. I think that is going to happen. When you look at the amount of centre-backs we've actually got, and I mean, I'm going to include Evans in this. You've got Evans, Jones, Smalling, McNair, Blackett, Rojo, and now Blind, if he's going to be played as a centre-back. We've actually got quite a lot of centre-backs. Yeah, they're not top quality, but we're going to have to get rid of, one of them, 2 of them, potentially send one of them out on loan, one of the youngsters, if we were going to sign someone. Otherwise, I don't see any point in signing anyone. Especially if Van Gaal's made his mind up that Blind's going to be a centre back. So I really don't think we're going to bother bringing one in. On terms of the De Gea thing, I think again with the Ramos deal not going through, I just think that we're going to sort of play hardball and I think we'll dig our heels, and we don't have to sell him. That's the big thing. yes, he's going to go on a free next year, but with the money that Real Madrid are supposedly offering, it's much more lucrative for us to keep a hold of him and get the best out of him. I'm hoping that once the transfer window closes, that can all be put to bed, and De Gea can just concentrate on playing football, because he is without a doubt one of, if not the best goalkeeper in the world. So it would seem daft for us to let him rot on the bench all season when we've got quite an important season, coming ahead. We're in the Champions League. We're hopefully going to qualify and get into that. We want to have a good run in that. We want to bring a cup in or two, have a decent run in those, and challenge on all fronts. And to do that, you need De Gea in goal, because De Gea, with the back four we've got, sort of defence that we have been playing, and that midfield with the likes of Schneiderlin and Schweinsteiger in there, we've got quite a decent spine of a team. So I think he should stay. I think we will keep him, and I think Van Gaal will dig his heels in, unless Real Madrid come and stump up the sort of 35 million that we want for him. So in summary, don't think we're going to sign a centre back, and I think De Gea is definitely going to stay.
Kev, what are your thoughts on those two positions?
Yeah, I don't think that a centre back will come in. I think Martin's just touched on it. I wouldn't say we're blessed in that department, but we've certainly got a lot of players that can cover that position. And then for De Gea again, it's just a ticking time bomb. From now until the end of the transfer window, we don't know what is going to happen with him, where he's going to be playing. Fingers crossed. I'm just hoping that the deadline passes and he's still a United player, and the day after that window shuts, Louis van Gaal brings him into the office, and that's the time to get his head right then. If he's obviously sat there in the stand, the south stand at United, thinking, oh, it'd be lovely to be playing in Madrid, he has to knock that out of him. The day that ticks over and he says, listen, you are a Manchester United player, you still are, and you're here for another season, is your head right to play in the first team? And it should be, because as far as I can see, David De Gea he's a professional, and I totally agree with Gary Neville. I said it on this show ages ago. This is Manchester United's fault, and anyone that gets on at David De Gea, that, he's Judas. I think United should have tied him down ages ago, or when he first signed his contract, they should have had something built in with some kind of extension where he had to sign that to run over. United are foolish for letting it run down, and you can call it the Moyes era when he was in charge. Maybe he should have addressed it. Maybe David De Gea looked at that and thought, I don't know what's going on here. David Moyes has took over, not really liking the look at this or the look of this, and then all of a sudden Real Madrid have obviously stated an interest in him. Yeah, it's going to turn his head. Yeah, obviously the best news would be if he signs a contract. I just can't see it now. And if United want to play hardball, yeah, they've said, give us Ramos. It's obviously give Real Madrid something to think about. It doesn't seem like that's happening, unless it can happen with another player in the Real Madrid squad, some kind of cash plus player deal. Then David De Gea is staying at United, and it all boils down to, if David De Gea is in the United squad, it can only be a good thing for United, and you don't let him go for anything less than 35 million, because David De Gea, on his day, you think back to last season, he probably won us, let's say, roughly about 15 points, and that was single-handedly. He's been United's player of the season the last 2 seasons. Nobody wants him to go, and if we can get another season out of him, then I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, I think you're right, Kev. I mean, me personally, if it was my decision, I would definitely try and keep hold of him for another year, because a club like you as well, it's not really like you're begging for money. You don't, it's going to have more value for him to stay an extra year than get the money for him. Just before we wrap up, we will be doing the United shirt giveaway at some stage this week. The replies on the forum have been absolutely brilliant to read. It's really great to hear all of your feedback, even the strongly critical ones. It helps us all learn what you want out of your show. So keep getting involved with that. It's over on the forum. Mark will probably give you the web address. I can't quite remember it at the moment. But I've pretty much asked everything I wanted to ask. Is there anything else anybody wanted to touch upon, Mark?
I'll let the other guys jump in if they want to. Yeah, it's theunitedstand.com, and there is a United Stand forum there that you'll find, and it is entitled 10,000 subscriber giveaway. I just want to do a little speech about that. I mean, we've barely been going a year. It started off properly at Christmas time. We've absolutely gone way beyond anything we ever expected, and at times we thought, why? And the reality is, it does come down to the live comment box and every one of you get involved. We came into this wanting to say how it was. It was meant to, it's not a cliche. We started this off. I know there's a lot of other channels there this season starting up doing exactly what we're doing. Good luck to them, but we did it first, and it was all about what the chats you have down as a pub and saying how it is and arguing with your mates. Some people take that as negativity or being anti-United or being confrontational. We're not a confrontational channel. It's just about being passionate, and we disagree. And we disagree with you on the live comments, and we disagree when you comment below. But it's been a fantastic ride. Thanks to everybody who gets involved. And I don't just say it's your channel just as a cliche. It is your channel, because without you, we're absolutely nothing. There will be a shirt giveaway. As Anna said, it's on the forum there as a 10,000 subscriber giveaway. Get on there and comment on there, and we will pick a winner this week. There's just been so many of you, and I knew tonight that there's a lot of people who regularly watch this channel who may not have known about the shirt giveaway, and I want it to go to somebody who is involved in the channel and really cares about it as much as we do. So yeah, definitely do that, and we'll probably do it on Tuesday, because we will be back on Tuesday as always with as soon as the whistle goes, get onto the United Stand. There'll be a live reaction to the game on Tuesday. Obviously no Tuesday 9 o'clock show, because we're all United fans. We'll do I've been doing a tactics preview on a Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. I'll do that this week again for the Newcastle game, and then Alex and the lads and everybody will be back on Thursday night with a proper, more in-depth this style show. We're always on at Thursday at 9 o'clock as well. And hopefully we'll sign Pedro this week. But I think other than that, all I can just say, and I think everyone's going to have their little bit to say now. I know we've overrun a bit tonight, but 300 viewers again. As I said, there's 8 dislikes because there are other channels copying what we're doing, and they just come on and dislike it. But we take that as a badge of honour as well, because there's over 100 likes on the video already. So no one's shutting us up, no one's stopping us what we're doing while we've got you lot involved, and you're all involved, and it is your channel. I'll pass you to Martin.
Lovely. I was just going to say something, because obviously reading all the comments in the forum, I think there's about 6 pages worth of comments, really positive stuff. And you know what? Even some of the negative stuff would totally take it on the chin. I think I've learned since joining this in late November last year, you've got to be pretty thick-skinned to take some of this. And I take everything in banter. But I think just some of the positive feedback that we've got is absolutely amazing, and just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who watches, everyone who comments live, everyone who's got involved with the forum as well, because that's growing. And again, it's all of you guys who are growing that. So just massive thank you, and hopefully see you again in this week coming up.
I think Mark's gone. Kev, want to say anything?
Yeah, as always, thanks for watching. I know everyone's waiting for a song here probably, but it's not happening tonight. I made the mistake of drinking in a beer garden all afternoon last Sunday before the show, so I'm being very professional tonight. Somebody's actually just sent me a message saying would I like Thomas Muller to sign for United if he was interested in coming, and I'm just ready to reply and say that basically that's like Megan Fox ringing me up and saying, do you fancy coming over to my house? It's free. Do you fancy playing some naked twister? So I'm just going to reply to that, and thanks for watching.
Just before I come to Alex, Michael shouts on the live comment box. He's been bigging up full-time Devils all night, so I'll give him his comment. He says the United Stand is shit. We don't give a shit. Alex, anything you'd like to say?
I think he said United Stand is the shit, as in saying it's cool. But yeah, I was just laughing at the comment section of everyone drooling over Anna as well. And I would just say, because I thought originally he said United Stand is shit as well, but then I reread it. But yeah, we have a lot of dislikes, but that's to be expected. It always happens. I hope I wasn't too negative tonight, like apparently I was too negative about the team on Thursday. But yeah, so everyone give it a like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.
And before I go back to Anna, you've just all reminded me we are looking for another panelist, definitely 100%. We've had a few entries. I've probably not got back to them as quick as I'd like to, but we are looking for one, and potentially another presenter as well, because Alex is on thin ice, but we'll keep him as a presenter, as a panelist. But so if you do want to do that, do send us a video. Just contact us on Twitter, or that's probably the best way. All you've got to do is just film yourself and keep it clean, and send us a 5 minutes, 2 minutes, just talking about Manchester United. And if we feel that you've got something to offer, we'll definitely get you on, because it is your channel. But I'd nearly forgotten. I feel really bad about this. Me, Martin, Kev, and Rich basically started this channel up around December time. Rich was on last week. He'd had the whole summer off, and he has started a new job, and it was always going to be difficult for him. And he came back, and he just wasn't feeling it. And I think that's down to the fact that it has grown so much over the summer, and it's become way bigger than we ever thought it was. But I do just want to say a big shout out to Richard Hill. I think I forget his Twitter. I think it's at Richard Hill. You'll find him. I think it's 8 or something like that. So he's still a massive part of it, but he's one who's going to obviously slip by the side now and not be part of it on the camera. But we don't forget anybody who's been involved in the United Stand, and he was a massive part of that. So personally, I just wanted to say thanks very much to Rich, and we will see you on Tuesday for the aftermatch, straight after the final whistle. Get involved in that. It can be good fun, and I will pass it to Anna again. Thanks to Anna as well. And lots of love on there for Anna tonight. Not going to repeat some of it because it's a bit rude, but thanks, Anna. And if you want to wrap it up.
Yeah, thanks guys for watching. Obviously we have hit 10k subs, which is massive. We have grown way bigger than we ever thought we would over the summer. I think before the summer we all kind of thought we'd slow down, because we didn't really think that transfer business was going to be that interesting, but it was the complete opposite. So don't forget to give the video a like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, follow us on Twitter. All our Twitters are on the banners, and Mark will be doing a live reaction on Tuesday. That's right, yeah.
It is. There's bound to be new people. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, get involved, and we always react to like transfer news as well. So hopefully we'll have something happen in the next couple of weeks. I think pressure's on. If Ramos signs that new contract tomorrow and Otamendi signs for thingy, it's going to be a difficult Monday for us, and I think there's going to be a lot of negativity. Carrick fan, I just wanted to shout him about as well. I love his videos. Do watch them. I know they divide people, but I absolutely love them. And he said that it's been very negative on Twitter tonight about Otamendi, I presume. We're never in for him. Ramos we wanted, and Ramos is probably going to sign a new contract, because De Gea, it's messier than eating a pot noodle in a wind tunnel, and I'll leave you that one, because De Gea has absolutely screwed us over. But I could go on all night. But thanks to everybody. Sunday night at 9 o'clock. There's nothing better than this, unless they've got repeats of Downton Abbey on before the new series, or Made in Chelsea. But thanks for watching. See you on Tuesday night.